That's why it's very, very important that whenever you read something online, you don't follow that advice, you follow your analysis. Kahit ako nagsabi, don't follow what I say, you have to analyze it on your own and you decide it from there. Pero what I can tell you is, trading ka ba or investing? Pag trading ka, ito dapat gagawin mo. Pag investing ka, ito dapat gagawin mo. So, as you mentioned, you are an investor, balikan mo. Lahat ng mga sinabi mo kanina no start, kung check ba yung Jollibee doon or X. Kung X yung Jollibee sa lahat ng sinabi mo, you decide, is this worth a loss that I'm willing to take already? If check siya, na okay pa siya, then you actually should have bought nung bumagsak siya na malaki. Iba yung pagtotoong pera mo nang ginagamit mo,
Okay.
sa utak mo eh. So, better start na with totoong pera. Kahit maliit lang, kahit minimum board lot lang or even odd lot, just to simulate kung tama yung ginawa mo. Kasi if you try to practice with your head, pero with no money, what really yung dumadali sa tao is the emotions. And yung emotions kasi natitemper siya through experience, to the number of times that you do it, and also through time. Hope you guys are good and well. We're back for another Ask Marvin session where YouTube subscribers ask questions about the markets, investing, or anything that they want to ask with one goal. No? The goal why we do this is so that some of you might have the same questions as what gets asked, so that you all learn together as well. So the reason why I do this is because hindi ako nakaka-reply sa lahat ng mga messages sa Facebook. Lalo sa Facebook, it's so hard for me to reply because of the number of messages that you guys send. And I'm doing this so that maybe some of you have the same questions, that it gets answered in one go. So at least you're efficient as well. So in this video, we have Meg Suzuki from Japan. Hello to you, Meg. Hello to all of you also in Japan. How long have you been in Japan? Kumusta naman savings natin sa pag-ipon natin sa Japan?
Kaka 2 years ko lang po dito sa Japan. Tapos, okay naman po yung work. Tsaka yung pag-start kasi namin dito, medyo mahirap kasi start from scratch talaga kami as a family. So, kaya talaga, todo save din po. Ngayon po, while working na po sa sa emergency fund, savings, ganon, naisip ko din po na mag-start na din po sanang mag-invest kahit paunti-unti. So, yung na-invest ko po talaga na amount na yun, hindi po talaga siya ganun kalaki pa. Yun nga po, yung the best time to invest nga po is now, di ba? So, yun nga po. So, while investing po, nagbabasa din po ako, nagle-learn sa videos mo po, yun po, ang dami ko pong natutunan.
Para sa mga kababayan sa Japan, kasi I've been to Japan several times already, madami na rin ako na-meet dyan. Hindi lahat nag-iisip katulad mo na mahilig at least interested mag-save siya mag-invest. Any words of encouragement for them na mag-save naman na sila?
Sa Japan nga talaga, mahirap nga po talaga kasi mahal yung mga bilihin, ang daming bayarin, taxes, ganun po. Pero yung na-learn ko po kasi, it's not how much money you make kasi po it's how much money you keep. So, parang para sa akin, wala pong reason na hindi ka po makakapag-save kahit kaunti. Tapos lang din po, proper management lang din po ng budget, ganun.
Okay, let's go. What are your questions?
Ito po kasi yung palagi kong nakikita sa mga comment section or kung mga pong website na tinitingnan ko about stock investing. So may magsasabi na, yung ganitong price, mahal siya kumpara sa ganito. So how do you know if a particular price would reflect its true market value po? Like for example, if ang stock is priced at 20 pesos, tapos it is unacceptable kasi mahal siya. Pero kung 16 pesos, it is okay.
Okay. Couple of things. No? Number one, it does not mean na mataas yung price niya. Mahal na kagad siya. Pwedeng 2 piso lang yung stock price niya, pero pwedeng mahal yung stock na yun. So, the way it's done is kinu-compute. Yung pag naririnig mo sa video, I talk about valuations, it's something that's computed. To make it super simple na lang, ganito. Pag nag-invest ka sa stock market, di ba bumibili ka ng companies? Yung companies na yun, may assets. Pero yung company rin na yun, may mga binabayaran tsaka may utang. Pag tinanggal mo lahat ng utang niya, tinanggal mo lahat ng babayarin niya, yun yung total na value ng company. Tama?
Opo.
So kung ganun lang kasimple, di-divide mo lang siya by the number of shares. Yun na dapat yung value niya. Kaso yung problema nun is, since yung binibili mo na company is a company that's open, company that's running, it's having income also. So part of the computation of the valuations also is, kung binili mo siya ngayon, ano yung potential na pwede pa niyang kitain in the future. So medyo tricky siya, tsaka medyo subjective kasi madaming assumptions na ginagawa on how it's computed. That's why if you talk to different analysts, hindi rin pare-pareho the way it's computed, because there's someone who's more bullish on for example, I'll give an example. Jollibee would say that meron silang 20 na bubuksan na stores. Same data, 20 stores, pero the way it's analyzed will be also different. Baka one who's more bullish will say na, oo, yung 20 stores yan, ganito yung pwedeng kitain. Whereas this one, yung 20 stores yan, hindi ganito lang yung kikitain niya. So, same data, pero different analysis. Tapos, pwedeng rin, okay, nag-agree sila na parehong kikitain, pero there's another person that will say that, pero yung current stores niya, baka humihina na siya, and it will affect the valuations also. So, for you to know if it's undervalued or overvalued, you have to compete for the valuations. You can search it online. I don't know if it's medyo ano talaga siya, it will take a lot of time to study, but you can look at some of Parts method, you can look at ECF, you can look at some people use the PE ratios in order for them to compute. Tapos project forward into the future yung earnings. So, yun, madaming ways. Pero, yun lang, gusto kong key takeaway na makuha mo from this conversation is, the reason why it's said na overvalued siya is because at 20 pesos, yung stock price niya, baka yung value ng company mismo, pag dinivide mo na lahat ng value niya by the number of shares is 60 pesos. Kaya siya overvalued. Yun. Kaya sabi ko na, it does not mean na 2 piso yung stock, mura siya. Kasi pwedeng 2 pesos yung stock, pero yung value niya 50 centavos. So, overvalued pa rin siya kahit 2 pesos. Kaya it's not true na pag 2 piso yung stock, yun na kagad yung binibili mo kasi mura na kagad yun. It's also not true na if the stock is 1,500, 1,600, not true na overvalued, na mahal na yun. Kasi baka at 1,500, it's real values 2,500. So, undervalued yung company.
Sa fundamental analysis, di ba meron po mga certain parameters na you should check, like yung sa P/E ratio, yung mga price to sales ratio, price to book value ratio, tsaka yung earnings per share. So, yun po yung mga yung lahat ng parameters na yun, kailangan po bang ma-meet, or depende na po yun sa investor? Ano po ba yung pinaka-importante?
Not all investors use the same parameters. Not all. What's very, very important is, sa akin at least gusto ko malaman how the company is making money. Is yung company niya nag-i-increase. Gusto ko rin malaman gaano kadaming cash yung company. Which lahat ng sinasabi ko sa'yo, available siya, nakita siya sa balance sheet ng company, tsaka sa financial sa income statement niya, everything is disclosed doon. So makikita mo siya lahat doon. Then gusto ko rin makita how much is its debt in reference to the number of equities that it has. Gusto ko rin makita how much assets that does the company have na kaya niyang bayaran lahat ng obligations niya. Kasi if times are bad, parang ngayon, madaming companies walang sales. Pero gano'ng kadaming assets yung pwede niyang gamitin para mabayaran lahat ng obligasyon niya. Kasi lahat ng mga company may obligasyon na bayaran. So, those are the things that I want to know. Then, I'd also like to know yung earnings niya. I mentioned that ako nag-grow. Tapos, after knowing all of these things, I want to know kung mura siya. Doon pumapasok yung mga binanggit mo kanina na ratios. Very, very important. Bukod doon also, kung sensitive ka sa dividends, gusto mo makita yung dividends niya. Gano'n ka consistent yung dividends ba niya nag-i-increase. So, yun. It's nice to know, just to summarize what I said, it's nice to know kung kumikita yung company. Kasi madaming companies din naman na gumagalaw yung stock price pero hindi kumikita eh. So, kung hindi siya kumikita, it's not worth it, especially if you're an investor. Gusto mo company kumikita. Pero bukod sa kumikita siya, you want the company also to be growing as well. You want the company na may track record of earnings. Kasi kung may track record siya of earnings, makita mo na, ang galing nito, consistent siya. Good year, bad year, mataas yung inflation ng year na yun, pero yung earnings pa rin niya kumita pa rin. That's something that's very, very good. So, yun, gusto mo, liquid siya, kaya niya settle obligations niya. Gusto mo makita na kahit may utang siya, the debt is not as high compared to the equity that it has also. Please remember, pag walang utang yung company, never siya mababankrupt. Pero also, kung wala siyang utang naman, hindi niya na ma-maximize yung ability niya to borrow cheap, na pwede niya sanang gamitin yung company, ay yung pera na yun to be able to expand further. So, may pros and cons siya in terms of pag-borrow tsaka pag hindi pag-borrow. Yung kailangan lang siguro makita doon is gaano ka sulit yung pag-borrow niya. Gaano kadami rin yung hiniram niya compared to the equity that they have. After all of that, dun ko pa lang titignan kung mura siya o hindi, kasi mistake of a lot of investors, they analyze it if it's cheap. Pero para sa akin, that should always be the last step. What was the last phone na binili mo?
iPhone 10 po.
iPhone 10. Okay. Bakit mo binili yung iPhone 10?
Kasi proven na po yung quality eh.
Meron naman iPhone 8, meron iPhone 10s, meron other variants. Bakit iPhone 10 yung kinuha mo?
Kung sa iPhone 10 po ako, so mas may enjoy ko po yung mga current apps ngayon na hindi po ako nahihirapan. Kasi sa previous model, medyo lag na kasi siya, ganun.
So that's what I'm saying. Yun yung mga reasons mo kung bakit mo gusto bilhin yung Apple na yun. Pag nasatisfy lahat ng mga reasons na gusto mo, saka mo titignan yung presyo. Pag mahal para sa inyo, hindi mo bibilhin. Pero pag nasa price na siya na gusto mo, bibilhin mo siya.
Third question ko po is, palagi mo kasing mini-mention sa videos mo po na may iba't ibang portfolio pa po, depende po sa purpose. Kung magme-make po ng portfolio or ay magme-make po ng account, sa isang account po, isang portfolio lang po ang kayang gawin po, di ba? Oo.
So better open different accounts. So kung tinatanong iba-iba siyang account, iba-iba siyang account. So it's advisable na halo-halo, kasi pag nasa isang broker lahat, halo-halo mo siya eh. Tapos, nyari, gusto mo bilhin pure gold for investing. Tapos, later on, gusto mo bilhin yung pure gold for trading. So, mahalo na yung price. So, tsaka, para different yung rules. Para pag hindi mo kailangan mag-log in. For example, bagsak yung market, hindi ka mapipilitan na, kunyari, position trader ka. Hindi mo i-force sarili mo mag-login sa position trading na account. Pero dahil investor ka, pwede ka mag-login sa investing mo na account kasi bagsak lahat. You can buy a lot of stocks na cheaper, pero hindi mo force sarili mo na bumili dun sa position trading na account.
Palagi ko po kasing tinitingnan yung about sa support and resistance. Napanood ko po kasi yung video niyo, yung kung bang difference ng gains ng peso cost averaging at yung support and resistance. So, ito po yung parang pinofocus ko ngayon na pag-aralan, pero parang napapansin ko po na yung support at resistance, palagi siyang nag-change. Hindi pa po ako masyadong marunong magbasa ng chart. So, umaasa po ako sa ibang analyst na ganito, yung support and resistance na sinasabi nila. Yung support and resistance, how often po ba siyang nag-change? Ganon.
You said that you are looking at different people na nag-draw ng support and resistance. Parang fundamental analysis, very subjective. Meaning, parehong chart, parehong stock, parehong time frame, the way the support and resistance are drawn and analyzed are different also. Very subjective siya. It's very, very important. You have to draw your own. Kasi yung nag-drawing nung stock niya, yung base yun sa biases niya, base yun sa risk tolerance niya, base yun dun sa time frame niya also, base also yun sa amount of earnings that they want to get. Kasi if you've been following the videos, you sell at the resistance. So, yung pagitan between support and resistance, that's the amount of gain that you will get eh. Yung measurement na yun, based also dun sa gain na gusto niyang kitain. So, it's very, very important. Kaya siya nag-iiba-iba kasi different people, different perceptions, different drawings also. Since gumagalaw din yung chart, mag-shift din talaga yung, especially yung mga short-term support and resistances nun. So, talagang dynamic siya. One specific price all the time. Especially hindi lang parallel lines yung ginagamit mo, you're using other indicators to determine yung support and resistance mo. So, my suggestion, it's nice to look at those things for references, pero learn it, you start drawing it on your own, then you put a small amount of money. Do not simulate. Kasi yung simulation, this is what I do know, sa stock market, it's not, iba yung pagtotoong pera mo nang ginagamit mo,
okay.
sa utak mo eh. So, better start na with totoong pera. kahit maliit lang, kahit minimum board lot lang or even odd lot, just to simulate kung tama yung ginawa mo. Kasi if you try to practice with your head, pero with no money, what really yung dumadali sa tao is the emotions, and yung emotions kasi natitemper siya through experience, to the number of times that you do it, and also through time. The reason why kampante ako sa market kahit nang bumagsak siya, kasi I've seen this over and over again if you've been doing it for a long time, somehow yung emotions mo nawawala. And for a lot of people who are new, you mentioned you're 3 months pa lang, hindi mo pa nakita, at least yung advantage mo, naabutan mo yung pagbagsak na ganito.
Opo, yun nga po.
Have not experienced also. So, it builds already yung skill, it builds experience that the next time bumagsak yung market ng 5%, ay na-experience ko bumagsak yan ng kalahati. So, hindi ganun kalaki emotional toll niya compared sa na-experience mo ngayon.
Ikalimang tanong ko po is, yung sa technical analysis po ulit, yung sa support and resistance, may nakikita po kasi akong may nakalagay na resistance 1, resistance 2, tapos support 1, support 2. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun?
Kung gusto mo magka-context ng ganun, panoorin mo yung mga videos na may charting. Nakikita mo, pag nag-drawing ako, may resistance dito, may resistance dito, may resistance dito. Nakikita mo yun?
Opo.
Support dito, may support dito. Yun lang din yun. Support 1, support 2, resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. Pero ako, I don't do it that way.
Yung next question ko po is, given that oil is, diba, cheaper kasi now, is it best to buy stocks of companies na yung affected po by oil prices? So, there's a possibility na kung mag-bounce back man po, like if yung itong quarantine po is over, then people will go back to their normal lives. So, usually people would want to travel again. Airplanes use oil nga po, di ba?
One of the reasons bakit mababa yung oil prices is because walang demand. Dahil the whole world is in lockdown, walang gumagamit ng oil. A few weeks before this, yung Saudi tsaka Russia nag-away, produce the same amount of oil, meaning dumadami yung oil sa market, pero yung gumagamit konti, bababa talaga yung presyo. Okay? Pero nagkaroon sila ng deal na babawasan nila, so it will eventually bring prices higher. Pag nawala yung lockdown, yung consumption ng oil, it will eventually also go up, meaning the demand for oil will also go up. That's one thing you need to watch out for. Number 2, they're losing a lot of money kasi very a lot of cancellations na ginawa nila ngayon. You have to factor that in also. You're buying them now kasi bagsak sila, pero habang binibili mo sila ngayon, wala silang kita. Tapos, wala ka pang assurance na may kita sila. Kasi pag nawala yung lockdown, tama ka naman na gusto ng tao mag-travel. Pero how sure are you that ganun kadaming tao yung gusto mag-travel? Kasi, but what I do know is hanggang walang cure, walang vaccine, kahit tapos na yung lockdown, takot pa rin yung mga tao lumabas. Kasi isipin nila, what if yung umupo doon sa upuan ko sa aeroplano, may coronavirus na, or yung pupuntaan kong hotel, yung natulog doon, sa kama na yun, may coronavirus. So, until mawala yung fear ng mga tao na pwede silang mahawa, may magka-travel for sure, pero I don't know kung ganun siya kalakas of a degree 10, 15, 1 or 2 years ago na nasa height lahat. So, those are things you must consider. Those are things that you must consider also pag ina-analyze mo yung airline industry. Pero tama naman, of course, once the lockdown is over, you will see more flights. Mas madaming flights after. Pero, is it enough para mabawi yung nawala nilang kita ngayon? Is it enough also that kita nila for 2020 will be better than 2019? Is it enough also that I'll give you an example. The fact na nagtatanggalan sila ng tao is something is them already projecting na baka wala masyadong demand. Kasi kung hindi nila babalik sa normal yun, hindi sila magtatanggal ng tao. Hindi sila magkakaroon ng mass layoffs. They won't have to remove ground staffs, mga cabin crew also doon. So I don't know. If there's one sign that alam mo mahina yung demand is nagtatanggal sila ng tao or titipid sila kasi madami silang pera. One way that they can do is they can still preserve their staff. Pero kung nagtatanggal sila, it means that they're trying to save cash, and it means that they think that some few months down the line, the demand is not strong.
If yung P/E ratio po suggests na ang stock is undervalued or cheap, yung low PE po, di ba, if it's below 10, it says na it's undervalued or cheap. So, until how low is it considered po na it's a good indicator to buy? So, for example, may nakikita po kasi ako na yung P/E ratio nasa 3 na, ganun po.
10 is even cheap eh. So, if you get something at 3, you get something at 8, mura yun. Sobrang mura yun. But again, it goes back to what I said at the start of this video that hindi lang kasi mura yung basis eh. Madami pang ibang factor, yung utang niya, yung gano'ng kadami cash niya, gano'n siya nag-grow, ano yung dividends niya. So there are other factors sa company na kailangan mo also tingnan. I'll give you an example. Saan ka na nakatira sa Cebu?
Sa Consolacion.
The furthest na napuntahan ko sa Cebu is Daan Bantayan. Pag umakyat ka na doon, madami ka na makikita din mga parang farm, no? Parang gano'n. So, kunyari, farmer ka, saan mo mas gusto bumili ng lupa for farming? Yung malapit sa kalsada, yung malayo sa kalsada?
Kung sa accessibility po na edi yung kung malapit sa kalsada.
Kasi it's easier for them also mabenta yung mga products nila. Possible here yung access big. Pero ito yung point ko. Yung isang lupa na sobrang layo sa kalsada versus yung malapit, sino mas mura?
Yung malayo po sa kalsada, I think.
Oo, pero bakit mo sinabing bilhin mo yung malapit sa kalsada kahit mas mahal siya?
Kasi po yung sa accessibility po, tapos kung ininegosyo mo din naman yung farming, mas din po yung time mo, makukonserve mo din yung time kasi sayang din yung time kung malayo.
That's how it is also sa stock. Hindi porket siya yung pinakamura, siya dapat yung binibili kagad. Factor yun, pero madami pang factor na So for example, may isang stock PE ratio niya 8, yung sa PE ratio niya 3, pero yung stock na PE ratio niya 8, other factors na nakita ko sa dividends, sa growth niya, na mas importante sa akin na mas nag-grow yung company. Pwedeng mura siya pero nag-grow. Mas gusto ko yung nag-grow, kahit mas mahal siya ng konti dun sa isa, yun yung bibilin ko.
Okay po.
So you have to look at that into perspective. Tsaka please remember, were you able to read my book on fundamental analysis, yung stock investing, yung winning strategies for investing?
Opo.
Yun. Dun sa PE ratio, very, very important that you analyze companies na magkapareho. At least, mo pwede, for example, PE ratio ng mining company versus PE ratio ng telco company. They're totally unrelated industries. It has to be at least the same industry, the same sector para comparable yung analysis mo doon.
Okay, so it's also the same po if yung P/E ratio, if it's really high din po, is it the same? Like yung sa Amazon po, nakita ko lang po yung Amazon stock.
Okay.
So, right now, yung P/E ratio ng Amazon is 94. So, is it worth na bilhin kahit ganun po siya kamahal?
Amazon kasi sa tech company and majority of the tech stocks sa States, no? Not all naman, pero yung valuations niya matataas. Ayan, no, kung titignan mo siya, nasa halos actually yung coronavirus, lahat ng mga stocks nagbagsakan, pero Amazon, if you look at it, nasa higher end siya. So, yun yung it does not mean na one of the reasons also na mataas yung PE ratio niya because yung presyo niya talaga, mataas din talaga siya ngayon. Sa mga hindi pa nakasubscribe, if you're new, please subscribe and hit the bell para ma-update kayo every time na may bagong videos na ganito sa channel. Or kung may question din kayo katulad ni Meg, put them in the comment section, or kung gusto niyo tanong ng videos, ganito, gawin yung ginawa ni Meg. Anong ginawa mo? Paano ma-send tong questions na to?
Una po, sa Messenger po ako nag-send sa'yo. So, sure po, naghihintay po ako. Tapos, yung nag-nood po ako ng video mo sa YouTube, dun po ako ulit nag-comment. Tapos sabi mo, send mo lang sa Instagram yung questions.
Yung masagot, makita yung mga message nyo. Easiest way is Instagram. Kasi yung sa Facebook talaga, guys, hindi ko lang talaga nababasa 500 messages halos sa day. So, it's harder. Yung sa Instagram, konti lang yung followers ko dun sa Instagram. Kaya mas, kung may nagme-message, mabagal din ako mag-reply sa Instagram, di ba? Mabagal din eh. Mabagal din ako mag-reply. Pero mas konti kasi yung nagme-message dun. So, mas mabilis ko siyang nakikita of sorts. And parang 13,000 lang natin followers ko sa Instagram. So, konti lang. So, easier to read. So, ganun lang. Post
Okay.
na rin. Yun. And please subscribe, guys. Game.
So, last year po, nung kakastart ko pa lang, parang based on emotions din po kasi, bumili po ako ng share ng Jollibee. So, yung around 200 pesos pa po siya. Tapos, after a few weeks, nakikita ko po yung stock niya, nag-aano na po siya, diba? Nagda-down na po siya to ilang percent. Yun nga, na-realize ko po na kailangan ko din pong mag-cut loss na din kahit medyo malaki na. So, is it a right decision po ba kahit po long-term yung yung goal ko?
You are investing.
Okay.
So, the only time you're supposed to sell, if it's at a loss, if you think the fundamentals of Jollibee is not so good. Makakapagsagot yan whether or not you want to sell. Pero yun, selling at 10% for investing, it doesn't work that way. Even for trade, don't sell based on percentage, sell based on technicals. Either two things lang yun eh. Kung hindi mo talaga gusto yung company and you think they're not gonna do well, dapat at the moment pa lang you saw na pangit yung company, you should have sold already. Pero the fact that you want to it goes to show na baka there's something that you see in it also na you think it will rebound. So if you think it will rebound, you should be actually buying more. So depende. Kung magsasabi, if nung nag 90 pesos siya, tingin mo Jollibee is a bad company, kahit 90 pesos siya, dapat din mo siya pinili. Pero if you thought that Jollibee is a good company, dapat pinili mo siya.
Okay po.
So there. The answer to that will be based on your analysis. The answer to that also will be based on kung ano ka, investor ka ba or trader. That's why it's very, very important that whenever you read something online, you don't follow that advice. You follow your analysis. Kahit ako nagsabi, don't follow what I say. You have to analyze it on your own and you decide it from there. Pero what I can tell you is, trading ka ba or investing? Pag trading ka, ito dapat gagawin mo. Pag investing ka, ito dapat gagawin mo. So, you mentioned you are investor, balikan mo. Lahat ng mga sinabi mo kanina no start. Kung check ba yung Jollibee doon or X. Kung X yung Jollibee sa lahat ng sinabi mo, you decide, this is worth a loss that I'm willing to take already. If check siya, na okay pa siya, then you actually should have bought nung bumagsak siya na malaki.
Yung next po is doon based po sa rebalancing po ng portfolio. So, yung pong nabasa ko po sa book mo po. So, kung mag-rebalancing po, usually hindi mo naman siya pwedeng gawin frequently kasi po nag-i-incur po siya ng fees. So, ideally, gagawin siya quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. Pero halimbawa po, if like now, if all stocks po are down, so is rebalancing po ba possible?
Please remember yung context ng book na yun is for people who are passive. It looks like you're not passive, you're watching it every day. So, yung buy and sell decisions mo based on fundamentals and technicals, not based on the portfolio. So, it depends on the context din yung paggamit mo eh. So, technicals kayo. So, I don't think rebalancing applies to you eh. But if to answer your question, naman, kahit bagsak siya, you can still rebalance. And that's what the index does also. So, you rebalance siya every 6 months. Final words for mga taong nanonood.
Sa lahat po ng viewers, lahat naman po tayo, I think, the same naman po yung goal natin in life, which is financial freedom. Gusto natin makamit, and we want to be on top, lahat tayo. So, I know na while on the way na nag-aaral po about stock investing, ganun, marami pong disappointments, ganun, uncertainties. Minsan, nafe-feel natin, gusto ko na lang mag-stop kasi para namang walang pinapatunguhan tong ginagawa ko. Parang ganun po. So, yun po. Para sa akin po, go lang po ng go. Kasi, dun mo naman makikita yung, dun naman makikita yung result in the long term naman po kasi. Tapos, stick on your purpose lang po.
Yung inaral mo ng nursing 4 years, tapos nag-review ka pa ng board, tapos after mo na ganun, may practical experience ka pa, pero para masabi mo na magaling ka ng nurse, it takes time also eh. So, ganun din sa stock trading, ganun din sa stock investing. If it takes 4 years to get to college, then it takes a number of years to number of months para mag-pass ng board. Then after that, it takes a number of years pa para masabi mo sobrang galing mo na. I know bakit sa stocks we stop 1 month, 2 months, 3 months pa lang, and may false expectation kasi nakala natin na nabasa na natin lahat ng libro, napanood na natin tayo. It doesn't work that way. If it was that easy na manood lang ng book, magbasa ng book, video, tapos okay na kagad, instant recipe na for success, then everyone would be a billionaire. Pero hindi siya ganun. Para din siyang trabaho na to be good at it takes time. To be good at it, kailangan talaga lahat ng inaral, ina-apply. Tapos lahat ng inaral, tsaka kahit in-apply mo siya, 'di ba, yung una mong hiwa sa, I don't know kung naghihiwa ka sa nursing, iba 'di ba, parang gumagaling yung kamay mo paglagay ng dextrose or whatever, pero it's time to do it. Ganun din sa stocks. And siguro the reason why I get to say this also is dahil siguro matagal ko na rin siyang ginagawa. So, and ganun din naman 10 years later, yung galing mo sa stocks will be much better than kung nasan ka ngayon. So, kung binalikan mo yung video na to 10 years from now, you will notice, nga no, yung mga dating hindi ko alam na alam ko na ngayon. Pero come through time also. So, dapat, I don't know, dapat di siguro nagmamadali.
Yun nga po.
The reason why people get frustrated, the reason why is gusto nilang yumaman kagad. Hindi naman din siya ganun eh. If you watch the videos na ginawa ko si Warren Buffett, I think naging billionaire, I can't remember the numbers, naging billionaire na lang siya, 56 years old. So, ang tagal nun. Lahat tayo, lahat ng gusto nagsa-stocks, gusto nila yumaman next year, gusto nila yumaman. It doesn't work that way.
Okay po. Thank you po. Yun nga po, kasi kung sa starting pa lang talagang yung patience at saka yung how you handle your emotions po kasi yung pinaka-difficult na part po, I think.
That's why I said also nung start, dapat ilagay mo pera, is an amount of kailangan. Bukod sa hindi mo kailangan, it's an amount of money na kung kunyari bumagsak siya, okay ka lang. Kasi kung hindi ka okay doon, dapat yung amount na hindi mo siya linalagay sa market. So, for those who are watching also, kung may additional questions kayo from anything that Meg asked also, just put them on the comment section, and then we'll try to make videos on top of that as well. And then, yun lang. I hope you guys learned a lot from this. Thank you, Meg, for asking those questions as well. And yun, I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.